Your Excellency, First Lady, who is somewhere in this compound, honorable ministers, ambassadors and high commissioners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, good afternoon. Welcome to this press briefing on behalf of the people and government of Kenya. I am delighted to welcome His Excellency the President of Romania and First Lady and the entire delegation on their maiden visit to Kenya. I appreciate, Mr. President, that in your visit, the first by yourself into our continent, you have chosen Kenya as your first destination, signifying the great relationship between our two countries. President Iohannis and I have just concluded very fruitful discussions where we have exchanged views on the current state of our relations and our path to the future in the light of the challenges that exist in our globe, but in the context of tremendous potential and opportunity that exists between us, our two countries, and Africa and Europe. We have taken note of the warm and cordial relations that exist between Kenya and Romania, whose inception in 1968 saw initiation of collaboration in diverse fields. We have in this regard reiterated the imperative to escalate our cooperation across all spheres of mutual interest, including political, social, and cultural and diplomatic domains. During our discussions, we have deliberated on a wide range of subjects across various areas of common interest: trade and investment, environment conservation and climate action, political and diplomatic dialogue, cooperation in ICT, agriculture, and of course, the people-to-people engagement, especially the discussions on peace and security, and the most important component we share of our belief in democracy. Accordingly, our discussion focused on strategies and interventions by which we can enhance trade and investment between our two countries. We've also shared ideas on new opportunities to improve the balance of trade and enhance investment between our two countries, leveraging on the expansive space created by the private sector and how we can leverage on the markets that we have in the East Africa, in the Africa continent, that we are consolidating into a single market, and how we can build on that, realizing that Romania, being a member of the European Union, I have thanked His Excellency the President for supporting Kenya, especially in the conclusion of the Economic Partnership Agreement between Kenya and the EU that will be passed by the EU Parliament and for signature on the 17th of December, where the President of the EU Parliament is coming to Kenya to sign off that agreement that will expand the space for trade, investment, and business between Europe and Kenya, between Romania and Kenya, and between Europe and our East African community area. To set off the process of actualizing our common agenda in these areas, we also witnessed just now the signing of 4 memorandum of understanding: environment protection and climate change, cooperation on sanitary, veterinary and food safety, agricultural research and cooperation, and Diplomatic Institute and the Foreign Service Academy of Kenya. I am confident that the implementation of these MOUs will escalate the relations into an effective partnership in areas of focus and create conditions for Kenya and Romania to expand the scope of collaboration to cover even more sectors in the now and near future. During our discussions, I requested His Excellency the President to join me in advocating for climate action and calling upon developed nations to work with us. And I have requested him directly to support the Nairobi Leaders Declaration that positions Africa as a continent with opportunity, as a continent with renewable resources, mineral resources, human capital, and as a critical player in the development of the future of humanity. And our common position on matters climate. We also have had an opportunity to discuss global peace and security and shared concerns on the continued conflicts and instability in our regions and other parts of the world. Consequently, we've agreed to play our rightful roles within the existing instruments in the community of nations to contribute to a more peaceful and secure world. In DRC, in Sudan, including the meetings I had yesterday on how Kenya continues to play a pivotal role in anchoring the stability of our region and the huge sacrifices Kenya is making. We also appreciate that this is happening elsewhere in the world, in Russia, Ukraine, in Israel, Gaza, and that collectively we need to come together to resolve these conflicts so that we can have a much more peaceful and stable globe that we can all pursue aspirations as nations. President Oanis and I continuously work together both at the bilateral levels to promote and support the achievements of the Global Development Agenda, including the Sustainable Development Goals. It's my pleasure again, ladies and gentlemen, to appreciate my brother, the President of Romania, for visiting Kenya. I have also explained to him the cultural, the tourism, and the many other aspects that await our progress as we enhance the relations between our two countries. That culture, especially theater, is a space that is very well developed in Romania, and as Kenya, we can learn a lot in that space. I've also agreed with the President on how we're going to work together in the digital space, in the technology space, leveraging on their expertise and knowledge and building a nexus between their center of cybersecurity with our Silicon Savannah in Kenya, and how we can build that, because we all realize that whether it is delivery of government service, whether it is revenues, whether it is health, including ourselves in agriculture, technology is becoming a great enabler, and we can share experiences and share expertise and knowledge in that space. I've also appreciated Mr. President and the government of Romania for opportunities extended to students from Kenya to study in universities in Romania. And we are looking forward to building an even bigger engagement in that space to enable us build the people-to-people relations between our two countries. Mr. President, again, on behalf of the government and people of Kenya, I welcome you and your delegation to Nairobi and to Kenya, and we look forward to building a stronger, firmer relationship, people to people, government to government, and regional cooperation between our two countries. Mr. President, the people of Kenya and this great delegation want to listen to you more than they wanted to listen to me.